Hello boys, welcome back to another session of online video tutorials, and this session is meant for class 11th biology students, and this is for 23rd June 2021. As you may recollect, we have been dealing with chapter number 1, the living world. And in yesterday's session, we talked about what are the various characteristics of a living organism, what is life, how to identify living organisms in various habitats, and we have also talked about nomenclature, how to classify the animals, and we also talked about binomial nomenclature, which is a system of classification developed by Carl Linnaeus, who is a Swedish naturalist. According to this binomial nomenclature, as we said, each organism will have a name with the two parts. The first part or first word is the generic name. This designates the genus and is written in capital letter. The first letter of the word will be written in capital letter. And the second part or word represents the specific name and it indicates the species, and that is written with the small letter. First letter of the word will be written in small letter. Like I gave the example Homo sapiens. H will be written in capital letter. That is genus. Homo is genus. Sapiens is the species or specific name. In that sapiens, S will be written in small letter. And both will be underlined. Genus as well as species will be underlined. Like human beings, scientific name of human beings, Homo sapiens. H capital in Homo, sapiens, S small letter. Underline both Homo as well as sapiens, both genus as well as specific name. After that, further, after writing Homo sapiens, underlining it, we can also write the name of the scientist who has coined that name. Like for example, Homo sapiens within bracket Carl Linnaeus. And further we write, putting a comma, we can write in which year he has given that name. Okay, so we can write that Homo sapiens, H capital, S small letter, underline both Homo and sapiens, within bracket Carl Linnaeus, and the year in which he has given the name. This is how we have to write the scientific name. And then we also said that the greatest thing of Carl Linnaeus is he described 5,900 species of plants, and he has written a book called Species Plantarium, in which he has described about 5,900 species of plants. And he has also written Systema Naturae, in which he described 4,326 species of animals. And then we also talked about the systematics, which is the science that deals with the diversity of organisms and their comparative and evolutionary relationships and grouping of organisms at every level of classification, right from species to kingdom. So for that, today we are taking one example. Here it starts with the taxonomical hierarchy. It is a chain, it is a ladder in which we go from lower category, lower taxon called species, and go up to the higher taxon called kingdom. So the taxonomical hierarchy consists of various steps in a ladder, starting from species to that of kingdom. It terminates at kingdom, and we say this is ascending order. Sometimes we can also write in descending order. We start off with kingdom, highest order, highest taxon in a taxonomical hierarchy, and come down to species level, whichever is convenient to us. So here I am giving an example of rose. Okay, so the scientific name of rose is Roja gallica. So in this, Roja is genus and gallica is the species. Now, what do you mean? Why are you putting this under species, gallica? Species is the basic unit of classification. Yesterday we said that in junior classes, lower classes, we always define species as group of organisms that have common habitat, that live in a particular place and exhibit similar characters and are able to reproduce among themselves to produce similar kind. This is what we defined the species as. So when we say Gallica is species, it means it is the basic unit of classification, the lowest taxon in the taxonomical hierarchy, and it is a population of individuals which resemble one another. So they resemble each other. Many roses, all varieties of roses that we see, all of them are roses. And they resemble each other. Pink rose, red rose, blue rose, white rose, black rose, all this. So that they can freely interbreed and produce fertile offspring. These are the conditions that we put for species. And next we go to many species come under one genus. We say genera. So here Roja is the genus. That means assemblage of related species. You can see the related species. You can see the roses, varieties of roses, and some roses which look like hibiscus. Okay, these resemble one another in certain correlated characters. That means in the species, if the similarities are 100%, in the genus it will not be 100, it will be somewhere 80%. So that means the 20% differences will be there. That is what we say genus. And many genera will be put under family. So here all the roses come under one family called rose family. Rosaceae, Rosaceae. Remember, from now onwards you must remember that among the plants the families will have this common four letters CEAE, Rosaceae, Salvinaceae, Fabaceae, Malvaceae, like that. CEAE will be common in family. So this family contains one or more related genera. You can see one or more related genera in this. And many families will be included under one order. What is the order? Rosales. So in this Rosales order, roses and their allies will be included. You are seeing in the picture. It is not only roses. The flowers, plants that have flowers which look like roses, all will be included. That means order includes one or more related families. And then now all the orders, many orders like this will come under class Dicotyledonnae. Here Dicotyledonnae means dicots, cartiledon. Two cartiledons will be there. That means when there is a seed and the seed has got two coverings, then we say it is dicots. So under Dicotyledonnae, class Dicotyledonnae, many orders will be included. As you are seeing in the picture, it includes one or more related orders. Look at that. Many are there, but here it is not only rows, many related ones are there. But you must remember that in all this, right from species, when we go up the ladder in ascending order, you must remember the commonalities will keep on coming down. In species, if it is 100%, I said in genus it will be around 80%, in family it will be 70%, in order 60%, in class 50%. When we go to phylum or division, yesterday I said that in case of plants we use the word division, like division angiospermae. What do you mean by angiosperms? Flowering plants. So here what is the single character that is very prominent? The plant should give rise to flowers. It should be flower bearing plant. So that should be the common character in the division. Whereas in animals we use the word phylum. So if you say angiospermae, roses are coming under division angiospermae. Why they are put under this division angiospermae? Because of only one reason. What is that? It's a flowering plant. And many, like you see, a category higher than that of class, and all must have one commonality. What is that? It should be plant having flowers. You can't put a non-flowering plant here. That is the condition. And then all the plants, whether the plants are having flowers or not having flowers, all, whether they have got root system, whether they have got shoot system, whether they have got thalamus, whatever it may be, all, only the one thing is that must be a plant. The organism must be a plant. It should exhibit a plant characters. Then we say kingdom plantae. All the plants in the world come under this kingdom. So highest category of classification is the kingdom, and the lowest one is species. So either you can go like this in ascending or descending. What is the purpose of this taxonomical hierarchy? The basic thing is that we are able to identify an animal. We are able to give name for that. We are able to classify that. Like given a plant, first we have to identify and give name, genus and species. Based on that characters, we put a plant under a family. Then based on some characters, we put that plant under an order. Based on some characters, similarities and dissimilarities, we put it under a class. And finally, division, whether it is angiosperm or gymnosperm or bryophyte, what is it? Based on the characters, we put that under this division. And finally, if it is exhibiting more of plant characters, and very few, there may be some cases where some plants may exhibit animal character also, but still we see overall majority and put that under kingdom. So this is what basically the taxonomical hierarchy helps us. So in this we need to remember that there are some taxonomical aids which will help us to do. That is herbarium, for example. Herbarium is a taxonomical aid. Zoological park is a taxonomical aid. Botanical garden is a taxonomical aid. Museum is a taxonomical aid. And yesterday we were talking about keys. Keys are also taxonomical aids. Monographs, manuals, flora, catalog, all these help us in taxonomical hierarchy. So that with the help of these taxonomical aids, we are able to classify both animals as well as plants. So the important thing is here, like keys. This is given by John Ray. The keys, word keys is given by a scientist John Ray. This scheme is for identification of plants and animals based upon, as I said yesterday, similarities and dissimilarities. Both we should have. The moment we see two organisms, we have to see both the similarities between them and dissimilarities between them. And note down, it is dichotomic table of alternate characters known as couplet. So there will be a couplet, two characters, alternate characters. Each character of couplet is called lead. That means out of the two characters, one character will give us a lead, means will give us a clue where to put this organism. See, the one present in organism is chosen and the other is discarded. So out of the two, one will be taken off, another one will be kept with her. That is lead. So separate keys are used for each category. So whether it is plants or animals, we use different keys. So basically, keys help us to classify a plant or an animal. So in this, monographs will give us information on any one taxon. Out of so many, you see, species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom. So monographs will give us information on any one taxon. Manuals, on the other hand, information for identifying species in a given area. In a particular area, you want to know about a particular animal or a plant, then we use manuals. Flora, it is account of habitat and distribution of plants in a given area, that is flora. And catalog, of course, these are some other useful taxonomic aids where it lists out the plants and animals that are available in a given habitat. So we further in our next session we will discuss about herbarium, we discuss about botanical gardens which are there in our country, museums that are there in our country, in what way they are helping us, and of course various zoological parks that are there in our country, how they are helping us in having this classification and help us in creating the taxonomical hierarchy.